just wanted to come on and explain a bit about what Stashless 2021 is. So this may or may not be up before my podcast 8, in which I'm wearing the same because it's the same day. That is coffee, by the way. I literally just spilled that on myself. Anyway, I think I've said in quite a few of my podcasts that I need to do a video explaining what Stashless 2021 is, but I know I've mentioned it in videos what it is, but I haven't done a video. So, as is a famous saying, it's better late than never. So here I am to talk about what Stashless 2021 is. When I started crochet last year, I started during the pandemic, and the first project I made, not quite sure where it is, it's somewhere over there. The first project I made was a blanket, and as I said, I'd never crocheted much before, so I didn't know different types of yarn, I didn't know there were different weights, I didn't know a lot about yarn or crochet. So when the restrictions eased a little bit and Hobbycraft opened, which is in England it's similar to Hobby Lobby or Joann's, it's a all-round craft shop where you can buy fabric, candle making equipment, modelling equipment, paints, yarn, anything you want. You look it up, it's a great website, but anything you want. And when I headed there, they had rows upon rows of different yarn, and I literally just picked up whatever looked nice, which is fine, which is what you should do. However, I didn't have a project in mind for any of them. I also didn't know about the different sort of yarn types, and because I didn't have a project in mind for them, I only bought one of each skein, which if you're new to crochet or knitting, it's not great. Firstly, the dye lots can be different, so you can have slightly different colours if you go back to the shop and buy some more. Secondly, you end up with a lot of single balls that you have no idea what to do with, because usually you need more than one ball depending on what you're doing with it. And thirdly, it's taken up quite a bit of space that, from living at my dad's house at the moment, our area, me and my partner's area, is this room which is quite small. Obviously out of respect for my dad, I don't want to take up the whole house, although I could potentially I could with all the yarn that I've got, but at the start of 2021 that was the position I was in, where I had lots of single skeins or single balls of wool that I had no idea what to do with, and it had gotten a bit ridiculous really. So I took note of all of the yarn that I had, just here, and I decided that I needed to, I really needed to sort it out. So whether I came up with a plan of action for each one, or whether I donated them, or whether I looked at a project, or if I potentially bought some more yarn to make a project with it. Anyway, starting out, I had 70 balls of yarn, or skeins, or cakes, whatever you want to call them, whatever they were in. And looking at that, I felt really overwhelmed. But now I feel as though I've done quite a lot, and I think, looking at it, I need to recount and see how far I've come. But my purpose of it was to go through 2021 without buying any until I got to at least half of my stash. But I found that one, and I don't say this to try and be funny, I feel as though I am slightly addicted to or obsessed with looking up new yarn, seeing if I can get one under a certain price, just finding new yarn, especially hand dyed yarn. I kind of can't help myself but to buy more, which isn't a good habit to get into, especially as I said, we're looking to move out. Me and my partner are looking to move out, so I can't really afford to be spending all of my money on yarn, especially when I've got loads that I could be using. But also it's about space. I'm not sure how much space I'll have when we move into a flat or a house or whatever it is, so I needed to get it under wraps. So what I'm going to do is look through my yarn and see now if I've assigned a project to most of it, or maybe I haven't, and just see what I have bought in this new year. Again, if you've watched any of my podcasts, you might have seen that I have been buying yarn this year. I have bought quite a few, but I hope that I've sort of thought of a project for them before I've brought them into the flat. But yeah, I'm just going to count now how many balls I've used, how many I've bought, and sort of what is the number now, and then I'm going to show you quickly a little tour of my yarn, what I've got and what projects I've got for it. So yeah, stay tuned. So I have looked through my list, and so far I have used 32 balls. So that includes using them for projects, finishing them, and it includes giving them away as well. I was lucky enough to have Kay, who's a good friend of mine. She happily took a lot of them. I sent them to her, and that really helped. I have bought quite a few. I will be looking through them and showing you which ones are new and which ones aren't in a minute. I have also looked through my list, and it says that I've got 59 skeins left, but the only thing that I don't want to make this sound as though I'm sort of not taking this seriously, the only thing that I'm thinking of is that I know within this list there are a lot of half-used balls and scraps that I've counted, which I understand they're still yarn, but they would probably go into a scrap project rather than a full project, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure whether I still want to count those, because in that sense I wouldn't be finished a ball of yarn until there is literally none of it left, which would take a lot of time. So yeah, so the main areas that I've got to store my yarn, up there is sort of like a net hanging where I hang all of my wool, or I put all of my wool in there. And at the moment that is just for untouched skeins. I've got this box which I've recently caked up all of my yarn, and then I've got this bag which is full of scraps. So I'll start with the scraps first. So this little project bag is one of mine. This is full of, you can see a couple of little skeins that I've been sent. This was a freebie with an order, and this was from a kit I ordered. And I've got my yarn in there from past sock projects. So eventually they will be making a scrappy sock. So that's one use for those. The rest of the scraps in here, that's sort of like, that's my cotton scraps in this, and then in this bigger box there's acrylic, and then there's more balls of acrylic, random colours. Again, I don't know what they will be used for. I need to find a scrap project for them. So every time I use most of a skein, they go in here, so I need to find a use for those. And these little scraps, they will eventually make a magic ball, and I'm not sure what they'd be used for either. So I need to find a scrap project. In terms of unused balls, I've got this, which is a new mini skein from Lamington Lass. It's called Violet, and it's on her Soft Socks Mini 75 Superwash Merino, 25% nylon, so it's 20 grams. And I bought this to go with a sock base, which is somewhere in this basket, for contrasting heels and toes, because the yarn I bought initially, the 100 gram ball, it is quite dark. Well, it's black, so I wanted a contrast in that, so that has a project assigned to it. A new one again, well, this isn't new, this is new for 2021. This I already had. This is Hayfield Spirit. Colourway is Sundown, I believe. This is for an ongoing granny square project I have, so that's got a use already. This was new for 2021. As I said, I looked at I think it was Somerset Yarns. I think she was having a sale, maybe not. I saw this, fell in love, and I caved and bought it. So these will be socks. I've got a couple of sock skeins to use up first, and then this will be used. So that was new for 2021. This, I believe I bought, can't remember when I bought this, I think it was last year. I saw this, it's got sparkles in it. Baby Twinkle DK. I really love the colours of it, but I have no idea what I'll use this for. So maybe this can go in a D-stash, I'm not quite sure. But that is one that I have no idea what to do with. Another partially new skein is this mohair blue. This was bought second hand, so some of it's been used. But again, I have no idea what to use it for. I don't know how far this will go because I don't know how much is in the skein. So I'm not sure what to use with that. But that was before 2021, so I already had that. This was pre-2021 as well. This is just cotton. I think it's Robin cotton, 100% cotton. I bought this for a project, but I'm not sure what I'll use it for. I will probably make some more hot pads with it. Simple granny square pattern. Yeah. And that will hopefully use it up. Sorry if I'm running through these, it's just I've got quite a lot, so I don't want to keep anyone for longer than we need to. This I bought at a charity shop recently, no yarn label, used, just over 100 grams. I'm using that to make a scarf at the moment. Another one I've got in progress at the moment, I've got 15 balls of this We Love yarn. I've used one already and I'm partway through another one, so that is ongoing. That is being used for a cardigan at the moment. That's 100% acrylic. Another project I've got ongoing at the moment is a jumper made out of this Black Friday hobby yarn. Again, 100% acrylic. The yarn is ongoing. The jumper is ongoing. It's an ongoing project. I have so far used 3 of these balls. I've got 2 full ones left, about 2.5 left. So that is assigned to a project. A project that I need to start is this. So this was bought 2020 for my birthday. Fjord Fibres, it's called Tropical Water. Sock base. It's available on Etsy. Just in case I haven't made this clear before, because this is all of my yarn stash, I'll be telling you what I can about the yarn, but I won't be listing everything below. because it would just take ages and might be quite complicated. So yeah, that is these are going to be socks, contrasting heels and toes. This is Fjord Fibres Tropical Water, and this is Lamington Lass yarn, and the colourway is Vamp, if you can see that. So yeah, those will be socks and they will be used up soon, hopefully. Right, so we get on to my big box of caked up yarn. So again, I will be running through these and telling you any projects I have for them. If I don't have any projects lined up for them, then I'll obviously be honest about that. So where to start? These are called apple pie, I think, or apple cake. These were from Fjord Fibres, and again these will be socks at one point. When I bought them, the reason I haven't used them yet is when I bought them I didn't realise there would be that much yellow in them. But I like them and I need to get them used, so they will make lovely warm socks. Again, I bought those in 2020. This Catty Crafts, it's called Black Magic. 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon. These need to be socks, or these are going to be socks, and this was the yarn I bought to go with this purple. I haven't used it yet because it is black, and I've read quite a lot about how difficult black yarn is to work with, but I'm looking forward to seeing the colours in there kind of shine through. I didn't realise it would be that dark when I bought it, but it was. So yeah, I bought that 2020 as well. This was something I bought in 2021. This, and this. Oh. So these were bought, I don't have a colourway for them. These were bought in a sale from Gumtree. The man that was selling them sort of wanted to get rid of them. He bought them second hand from an estate sale or something like that. Is it an estate sale? I'm not sure. They was from someone who had passed away, presumably, or her house was being sold. These are 100% acrylic. Not sure of the weight of them. They're all supposed to be DK, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'm not sure what to do with them. I quite like these colours. I really like the bright blue. Yeah, I said they're DK. Not sure what to do with them. They don't have a project, so I need to look for a project for those. This I bought last week. This again, I think it's about 190 grams. It's I would say it's chunky, if not super chunky. Black, white, grey, dark grey. I think I will use this for a shawl. Maybe not for myself. I'm not totally in love with it. I just love the fact that it looked as though it was sort of hand painted or hand dyed. It just looked really good. I need to recake this because it's really, really tight. I think my ball winder struggled with how thick it was. But that was 2021. Again, I don't have a colourway or anything for it. This is cotton yarn, red. This was from Robin as well. Robin 100% cotton. Again, I will be using that for doilies to stop my pans, the metal from the pans touching each other, and to protect the sides as well. So that's one. This was bought in 2020 as well. And again, some more cotton. We've got this coral colour and we've got this pink. This coral was Robin again. This one, I'm not sure, this was a gift. I'm not sure who it's from. But they, again, will be heat protectors, heat pads are they called. So I have a project for them, and they were bought in 2020. This again was a gift from my auntie. She bought it to make a pom-pom with, but I don't know if you can see, it's sort of, I call it pipe cleaner, because that's what it sort of looks like. It's sort of fluffy, rough fluffy. It's not a full skein. I don't know where it's from. I don't know the makeup of it or anything. I don't have a project in mind for this, so I'm not sure what I will use it for. Or again, maybe I'll put it in a D-stash. Going back to some more cottons here. So these were hand dyed by myself a few weeks ago, last month maybe. This was avocado, which I love the colour. I love that some parts of it are darker than others. I really like that. And this one was actually, I think it was purple flowers I bought. Was it red roses, I think. I bought some red roses and I thought that it would be red, but it wasn't, it went brown. But I like the colour, and I think that I will, I'll find a project that will use the colours. So maybe, again, going back to the heat protector pad thing, maybe I can find a nice design that has pink and brown in it. Don't know, I saw one the other day that was a pie, which looked absolutely gorgeous. So maybe I'll make a pie shaped heat protector pad. Hello, so I am wearing a different jumper because I had to stop as the card was full. So I've had lunch and I've spilt stuff down myself, so I've had to get a new jumper. Anyway, I had just gone through, I think I'd just gone through the cotton, which again was from 2020. This was for a commissioned hat. This is leftovers from a commissioned hat. This is extra chunky, so I'm not sure what I'd use that for. I think I bought it in 2020. I think it was around Christmas time. So I don't know what I would use that for. This was some more from the haul from Gumtree. So again, this was bought 2021. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. It's quite a rough acrylic, sort of a purpley colour. Not really a fan of the colour, and I have no idea what I'll use it for. So that was 2021 as well. This was one of the single skeins that I bought when I started crocheting last year, and it's sort of speckled grey, which I really like. I've had this for ages and I didn't know what to do with 100 grams. However, I also bought this pom-pom for the top, so I'm hoping to make a hat from it at some point. That was 2020. This, same story, bought it from Hobbycraft as a single skein. Not sure what to do with it. It's acrylic. That was last year. This was for a jumper for my partner. I've got a lot of it left over. I'm hoping that I might have enough for another jumper or part of a jumper. And that was bought just before Christmas, I think. That's DK from, not Hobbycraft, Hobby Yarns. Nearly at the end. These again were from Hobbycraft. Again, not quite sure what I'll do with them, but I'm sure I'll find a little something to do with them. This was left over from when we went on our weekend away for last year in October. I made some fluffy socks with them, and this is just what's left. So I need to find a little something to do with them. That little scrap of it. Then I've got some leftover merino which I've used to make some socks with. That was bought last year as well. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. Last two, so this is some sort of roving that was left over from a hot water bottle that I knitted, which didn't turn out amazing, but it's alright. I'm assuming that this is acrylic. I'm hoping that I can at one point buy a drop spindle. So I can see they're not too expensive to get one, and maybe make my own hand spun yarn with it. So I feel as though I'd use that more than this because there's not too much of it. But I'd say that's chunky. So I'm probably going to save that for another project. Once I've spun it, I'm not sure what I'll use it for. That was a gift last year. And then lastly is this big ball of yarn. So I think it was this year at some point, I did wind these yarns together. So in there is some sort of rough acrylic. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strands. 4 of them are pink, 1 is white, and not sure what I'll use this for. Probably a cushion or something. Quite a simple design. So that is all of the yarn I have. Although it seems like a lot, I don't think it's too much. I think I've used quite a lot as well. What I will do for the end of this video is I'm going to tally up everything that I've got. And as I said at the start, if I've got something that's in my scrap bag, I'm not going to include it. Just because it's hard to keep track of using all the scraps. So anything that is used, I'm going to tally off rather than saying, for example, for my cardigan I've got 15 skeins in total, but I've used 1 already. So rather than just counting that as 15 until there's none left, I'm going to actually tally it off, and I'll put the number at the bottom here somewhere. So just in short, I feel as though I've done quite well. I'm finding it really useful to find projects to do with the yarn that I've got rather than just buying new. And I've learnt to be more conscious as well, sort of seeing it all sat on the bed just here. I can see that there's quite a lot, and quite a lot of it I don't have any projects for, so I've sort of got to either decide that I'm going to use it for something or destash it and just bite the bullet and get rid of it. So I think I will end up doing that more so when we're looking at moving out, or I might put it on Facebook or something like that. But there is quite a lot. So yeah. So thank you again for watching. I hope it wasn't too long a video, and that it was quite interesting seeing all of the yarn that I've got. I will do a, as I said, I'll put a tally somewhere in the video, but I will probably do an update again soon when I look at maybe destashing, or when we look at moving out, or in a few months time when I've cleared it all out. But feel free to comment, like or subscribe, or dislike if you really want to, or get in touch using my Instagram handle, which is theembroideredelephant, as it is on YouTube, but also it will be linked below as well. Thank you.